Can I get every achievement in Just Cause 3? Just Cause 3 is an action-adventure game that came out in 2015. It follows the series protagonist Rico Rodriguez as he returns to his homeland of Medici. Once again, he's tasked with removing the control of the dictator General Sebastiano di Ravello. So to not waste any more time, let's jump into this game and see if I can get every single achievement. You start the first level flying into the island by a plane, taking out SAM turrets with your rocket launcher. Ignore how this part of the video has been recorded strangely, it's just for the first few settings, as I'm not really too sure what OBS has done here. Once you get far enough into the island, you now need to go and find your friend Mario. He's getting attacked by the local forces, so it's your job to protect him and save him.
The militia are here! Take him out! Yeah! I bet you militia were not a...
After Mario's been saved, it's now time to concentrate on saving Dima. Dima is a scientist on this island who will give you all of the equipment that you'll need to completely liberate the island. There's a lot of soldiers that are also interested in Dima, so they come out in a full force to attack you. Thankfully, you have a minigun, so you can take these down pretty quickly. Whilst doing this, I reached 1000 chaos points, getting me the first achievement of the game. This is just causing chaos. Once all the forces have been fought off and Dima has been saved, the achievement Enjoy Your Homecoming will unlock. Just Cause 3 is slightly different to how Just Cause 2 works. Instead of just having cities scattered around the map, you also have provinces. In each of these provinces, you'll have multiple areas such as bases, docks, and towns. Once you've liberated each of these areas, you'll then liberate the province. Once the provinces and places within them have been liberated, you'll unlock further things to create chaos, so it's very key to do. Also, the first time you do this, you'll unlock the achievement Viva la Revolution. In the next story mission, one of the towns we've recently liberated is now being attacked by the forces of this island. It's now our job to fight against these forces and stop them retaking over this town. To do this, we have to take out 3 different tanks that are attacking the town in 3 different locations.
Thanks for playing. Enjoy your...
Of course, whilst we're fighting off the military and tanks, Mario can't protect himself, so we once again have to go and save him. After Mario's been saved once again, it's time to get out of this town, but obviously that isn't easy. Helicopters, vehicles, and soldiers come to attack us, and we have to protect the vehicle that Mario's driving. After successfully protecting Mario's truck and getting him to his helicopter so he can get away, we unlock the story-related achievement, What a Disaster. As mentioned earlier, there are provinces scattered all through the islands of Just Cause 3. Within these provinces are settlements. These can differ slightly from towns to docks to military bases. Within each of these settlements, there are key things that you need to do. These can be killing certain enemies, destroying certain things, or liberating certain prison camps. Once you've done all of these things, you can then raise the flag, liberating this settlement. Thankfully, unlike Just Cause 2, it tells you what you're looking for in these areas, which makes it much easier to do. This is a key aspect to this game, and once you've managed to do 13 of these settlements, you'll unlock the achievement Baker's Dozen. Continuing to take over settlements and provinces is what I aim to do next in Just Cause 3. Whilst doing this, I continue to cause as much chaos as possible. You get chaos points for destroying chaos items, completing challenges, completing missions, and as well killing enemies. Eventually, I reached 100,000 chaos points. This then unlocked the achievement Chaos is my middle name. Whenever you liberate a province, a settlement, or complete a challenge or mission, you unlock certain items. These items can then be called in via a rebel drop. When it comes to vehicles, these are then split into land, air, or sea vehicles. Once you've completed enough of the game, you'll unlock each of these and unlock the achievement Earth, Wind, and Sea. On the island Insula Fonte, there is a giant base in the centre of it. This base has a weapon called an FOW that eliminates you as soon as you get anywhere near this base. It blows you up almost immediately. Therefore, we need to take it down. By completing the mission, The Secret of Vis Electra, you can do exactly this. In this mission, we have to follow this pipe that takes us into a secret underground base. Eventually, when you're in the base, you then need to destroy 3 command nodes. This is what is powering the FOW.
My pleasure.
Obviously, this doesn't go too fondly with all the guards in this area, so you then have to escape this cave. This, surprisingly, isn't that difficult to do, and once you've managed to get out of the cave, you unlock the achievement, Take That, You Pipeline Jerks. Now that FOW has been completely dealt with, it's time to liberate the entirety of Insula Fonte. Eventually, the final few military bases fall, and we get the achievement, Hope Springs Eternal, for liberating Insula Fonte. An all-out war occurs between the rebels and the military on the newly liberated island Insula Fonte. Once again, it's Rico's job to go around and help the rebels turn the tide against the military. You do this by winning specific battles scattered through all of the liberated settlements. The military see the rebels beginning to win this war and use their last weapon. This is a missile they fired up in the air to take out one of the key cities, and it's Rico's job to take it down before it does this. Like in Just Cause 2, Rico has to get on the missile and take it down from there.
This should be interesting.
Trajectory altered. Fascinating.
This unlocks the achievement FU Missile. It's now time to move on to the next island. This is Insula Drakon. Very similar to the previous island, just go around liberating all of the settlements and then the provinces, and slowly you'll begin to take over the island. Once you finish with the final province, you'll get the achievement Taming the Drakon. In the next story mission, you have to protect an EMP with the rebels to a certain location to use it on the military. This is being done by transporting it on the back of a truck whilst 2 armoured trucks on either side are taking down enemies. Obviously, Rico needs to help out as the enemies are concentrating on getting this EMP stopped. Eventually, you get to the base where the EMP is set to be set off. Obviously, this is the military's last stand, so you have to take down all of the soldiers in this area. Thankfully, I already had a helicopter at this point, so this was absolute light work.
There are the tanks. At least something Sheldon said was true.
The EMP then gets activated and used, finishing off this story mission. For finishing this mission, you also get the achievement, The Power of Bavarium. Once again, another war breaks out on the island. This time, we decide to take the fight to the enemy though. We get towards the entrance to another one of their secret bases. In this base is a cooling generator that we need to destroy.
That's it.
With the reactors being destroyed, the base doesn't last much longer either. With this mission being finished, the achievement Finally on the Offensive pops. There is one final island to liberate, and this is Insula Striate. Once again, just go around the island, liberating the military bases, settlements, and everything that you can find. Eventually, you will have completed all the provinces, and you'll unlock the achievement, Heart of Stone. All the islands will now be completely liberated. Next up is the story mission, The Great Escape. To start this mission, we have to get inside of an underground prison in the attempt to rescue some prisoners that have been held captive by the military. Once in there, we have to find and activate 2 switches to get deeper into the prison while taking out many military members. Once these switches have been pressed, you then need to hack the main doors to get deeper into the prison. Once finally deep enough into the prison, we have to take out 2 generators which are powering the entire prison. Once back at the surface, you have to assist your fellow members of the rebel group to fight against the soldiers so the prisoners can make their successful escape. Once all the soldiers have been defeated, this finishes the mission. Pop in the achievement, These Mines Are the Pits. It's now time for the final story mission of Just Cause 3. With the final island being completely liberated, once again, the military go out on a full-blown war to try and take it back over. Rico has to go from battle to battle, helping the rebels take down the soldiers once and for all.
Rico, if you can hack the SAMs, we can fly in air support.
After Rico is successfully able to turn the tides of the war in the rebels' favour and then finally win the war, you unlock the achievement Mistakes and Triumphs, which finishes the Just Cause 3 main storyline. Scattered throughout the world of Just Cause 3 are encounters. These work by just randomly spawning here and there whilst you're flying around, and you have to complete a specific task. Some of these consist of delivering vehicles to certain areas or helping rebels. When you complete these, you'll unlock various different items that all help with the rebel cause. Unfortunately, there's no real confirmed way to spawn these, they just sort of spawn randomly, so just fly around and you'll eventually get them to spawn. Once you complete your first one, you'll unlock the achievement First Encounter. Although I just said that we completed the final story mission of the game, I meant the rebel-related one. It's now time to take out the Dictator of the islands, Di Revelio. Separate from the 3 islands that we've liberated, there is a volcano off in the top left-hand corner of the map. This is where he's making his final stand. Flying a jet over there, we meet him for his final stand. The way that this fight works is the helicopter has a shield. Every so often the shield will drop, and at this point you have to then attack it. It's very handy to have a rocket launcher at this point, as they do a lot of damage and it makes the fight much easier. If you have run out of ammo, you can use the beacons to call in more ammunition, but you just have to stay alive whilst this happens. Eventually you'll do enough damage to take the helicopter down. Somehow, Di Revelio survives this. For some reason, he decides to do a bad guy monologue. I suppose, as he is a bad guy, that does make sense. But you get the great decision of cutting that off a little bit early. This then truly does finish the main story and gets the achievement Son of Medici. One of the main parts of the grind in Just Cause 3 are challenges. There are quite a few different categories of challenges in Just Cause 3. There's the races, which are air, land and sea. Weapon challenges, where you have to shoot targets and get as high a score as possible. Chaos challenges, where you have to cause enough chaos in a certain amount of time whilst keeping a high multiplier. Wingsuit challenges, where you have to fly through targets and get as centre as possible to get as many points as possible. And grapple challenges, where you have to use the grappling hook to attract things into a certain area. These are then all ranked into gears. You can get 5 gears for getting the most amount of points in these challenges, and then you can use these gears to unlock certain abilities. I hadn't actually attempted any of these challenges until finishing the game, so after completing my first one, which was a shooting one, I got the 2 achievements, getting it in gear, and you've got gear for earning 5 and 3 gears in a challenge. I also got the achievement bragging rights for beating another player's score in a challenge. When you then activate one of these gear mods, you get the achievement Mod Initiate. The grind continues with these challenges. Some of these are definitely more difficult than others. The wingsuit ones are probably, in my opinion, some of the more difficult ones, as towards the end you have to nail every single target and then reach the end still. The wingsuit can sometimes also be a bit fiddly, so that can be tricky. That being said, the easiest ones for me were definitely the weapon ones. With using mouse and keyboard, I was able just to use my mouse and just be able to snap between the targets, which made it much easier. This may be slightly more difficult on controller, but it depends how good you are, I suppose. Eventually, I was able to finish every single weapon related challenge. This meant that I was able to unlock every gear mod in this category, getting me the achievement Mod Specialist. Some of the challenges you can't actually get 5 gears on straight away. This is because you need to unlock certain abilities using the gear mods and then come back to them. This is the case for the boats, as you need to unlock some of the nitrous boosts before you can successfully reach the amount of time that you need to. This is why I kind of left the boats towards the end. However, going through the first few of the boat ones, I was able to get 3 gears on one of them. This meant I was able to get at least 3 gears in one challenge of every type, getting me the achievement, a real gear getter. Also scattered through Medici are collectibles. These are broken down into 5 different categories and all have achievements linked to them. These are ancient tombs that get you the achievement Tomb Raider, vintage weapons and vehicle parts, which gets you the achievement Old School Cool, D. Ravello's tapes, which gets you Diary of a Madman,
7305.
Rebel Shrines that unlocks free fast travel around the islands, as well as the achievement Remember the Fallen, and the final collectible being Stunt Jumps, where you have to drive a vehicle off of a ramp and land it successfully, which gets the achievement Consummate Daredevil, as well as the achievement No Stone Unturned for collecting every collectible across Medici. After collecting all the collectibles, it was now time to get those final few challenges completed. These were the ones that I left right to the end, because some of these are a really pain. This final one was an explosive related one where I had to drive a tank around a base. It sounds relatively easy, but due to the shape of the base, it can be quite difficult to keep the combo high. What I worked out though is if you destroy vehicles, it maintains the combo. This means that you're able to make the most of the higher point objects. By doing this, I was eventually able to get 5 gears on the final challenge, getting me the achievement All the Gears for completing all challenges at 5 gears. Encounters scattered across Medici offer you different rewards for completing them. To be honest, I'm not too sure how to force certain rewards, but apparently you can. One of these rewards are unlocking priests. These priests will then go and occupy a church in that local area, which you can then use to clear your wanted level. This isn't something that I was aware of until a little bit later into the game, where there's an achievement linked to this. I'm not entirely sure how useful these are, because some of the churches are very isolated, so I'm not sure how often you'll actually be travelling past with a high wanted level. When you've unlocked 3 priests, you'll unlock the achievement 3 Holy Hideaways.
I'm going to tell you something. It's hard to be.
As with Just Cause 2, another grindy aspect of this game is to collect every single one of the vehicles. You get these by hijacking them and then driving them over to Mario's garage. Once here, they'll then chop the vehicle and it'll become available for you to use in Rebel drops. I don't think there's quite as many vehicles as in Just Cause 2, so the grind isn't as bad, but some of them are a lot more annoying to get. Some of these can be down to the fact that some of the lakes in the middle of the islands have the boats in that you need to collect. This means you have to safely transport them across the land to get them to one of these garages, which can be quite fiddly. Eventually, you'll collect all of them and unlock the achievement Caught 'em All. Due to these being the last vehicles I needed to get for the Rebel drops, I also unlocked the achievement Unlocked and Fully Loaded. This is for unlocking every weapon and vehicle available in the Rebel drop menu. This was also the final thing that I needed to reach 100% in Just Cause 3. This unlocked the achievement Winner Takes All Again. Another achievement copied from Just Cause 2 is Top of the World. Once again, you have to reach the highest point in Medici. This is kind of close to one of the wingsuit courses, so you can just fast travel there and then travel up the mountain to the highest point in Medici. In Just Cause 3, you have the ability to re-oppress already liberated provinces and settlements. This means that you can just attack it again and re-liberate it, so it's good fun. By doing this, you can then get the achievement without bullets. To get this achievement, you have to destroy every chaos object in a military base without any use of weapons, grenades, or planted explosives. I found the best way to do this was using the grapple hook. Just pull things over and then attract explosives towards these objects and they'll explode very quickly. You can also mess with soldiers scattered across Medici. You can do this by using the grapple hooks and explosives. One of these is tethering an enemy to a launched gas canister. This can be quite fiddly to do, but if you manage to do it successfully, you'll get the achievement My Little Rocket Man. Similar achievement to this is You're Outta Here. This requires for your remote explosives to have slight upgrades to the booster ability. From here, go up to an enemy soldier, plant the explosive on someone, and then use the booster to send them flying and then explode them. Once you successfully do this, you'll get the achievement.
Hostiles in the area. All units respond.
An achievement I somehow didn't get playing this game was this was supposed to be a western. This is to destroy all chaos objects in a military base without leaving your vehicle. I thought that this sounds pretty easy, but in hindsight it's not actually that easy. This is because when you're attacking a military base, you get attacked by a lot of military personnel and vehicles. If you're not careful, you can die pretty easily to this. With the ability to reoppress these bases, eventually I was able to do this using a tank. You just have to be aware of all the other enemies, taking them out as you go, and eventually you'll destroy all the objects and the achievement will pop. If you've ever watched any of my videos up to this point, you'll know I'm not the biggest fan of online achievements. This is especially the case in older games, which then makes it very difficult to do due to the player base just not being there. However, Just Cause 3 does have one of the easier ones of these. This is Can't Touch This. You just have to call out another player in a feat. Feats in this game are things such as fly a certain distance, drive at a certain speed, and things like that. Thankfully, to call someone out in a feat, you just have to go into the menu and just call out any random player. Linking to these feats, there's also an achievement for performing every feat. This is aptly known as Feat Fetish. The majority of these you'll just complete throughout the game, but there is one that I hadn't, and this is to drive the soapbox car as far as humanly possible. There's only one location for this, so if you head to this location here, and then drive the car for however long you like, you will then perform that feat. Now that we've got every gear mod unlocked, it's now time to make the most of it. By equipping them all at the same time, you can be the best that Rico can be and have some great abilities to use. Alongside being the best that Rico can possibly be, if you have them all equipped for longer than a minute, you'll also unlock the achievement Mod Tinkerer. As mentioned previously in the video, you can use priests in churches to clear your wanted level. This was something that I didn't realise until this point. After looking at the achievements I still had to unlock. If you're able to clear your heat level of 5 by using a priest, you'll get the achievement Forgive Me Father. The best way I found to do this is by flying a jet over a base and then heading as quickly as you can to one of these sanctuaries. From here, the heat level will then be cleared and you'll unlock the achievement.
An elite response team is en route to your position. Be advised that chopper support is approaching your location.
The most annoying achievement in this game for me was Supply and Demand. This was also the penultimate achievement that I had to unlock. To get this, you have to unlock 10 resupply points by completing encounters. It's not a difficult achievement, but it's purely dependent on luck. You can't get encounters to spawn whenever you want, and you need specific ones to spawn to unlock resupply points. These are delivering vehicles from point A to B, or getting vehicles to petrol stations because they've run out of gas. You just have to fly around and hope these spawn. Eventually, you will get them to spawn, and after you've completed 10 of these, you'll unlock the achievement. The final achievement that I needed to get in Just Cause 3 was to create 1 million points of chaos. To do this, I just had to reoppress some of the military bases that I'd previously done, just blowing everything up and getting as much chaos as possible. For some reason, the achievement didn't actually pop when I got a million, so I just had to restart the game, go again, and it finally popped. As with all these videos, if I've not been able to get every single one of the achievements, I like to make it very clear. Every time, this isn't because I'm just not good enough at the game or anything like that, it's just down to the fact that I've been playing older games and unfortunately the player base just isn't there. The achievement that I was unable to get in this game was Anything You Can Do, and that's just a beta score that I've been called out on. Throughout the entire time of playing Just Cause 3, I was calling people out constantly in the hope that they'd call me out back, but it just never happened. Maybe at some point I'll go back and see if someone's called me out and see if I can get that final achievement. It's annoying to get 99.9% of the achievements and not that final one, but it is what it is at the end of the day, I suppose. In my opinion, Just Cause 3 is better than Just Cause 2. I'm not sure what the general consensus is, but I feel like that's a pretty safe opinion. I do agree that there's probably less content in Just Cause 3, but I think that's better. Instead of just having generic towns that are just scattered across that are identical to each other, each of the areas feel different, and it just adds a bit more to the game. The story is the story. Again, I don't think you're really playing a Just Cause game because of the story, but the ability to commit chaos is much better. Alongside this, the grind after the game is more enjoyable. The challenges and the introduction to the wingsuit are great, and I had a lot of fun doing that. Once again, there are still elements of getting all the achievements in this game that do make it a little bit boring, but if you're willing to do it, it is worth it, and in the end, it does feel good for getting it. If you've made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it, and if you've got any recommendations on how to improve it, please let me know. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button, as it goes a massive way to show me that I'm doing the right thing. I'll see you in the next video.